We make decisions every single day, right? Should I eat the chia seed pudding or should I have pancakes? Should I do a HIIT workout or should I do my strength training program? Should I go out to dinner with friends or should I lay low this evening and relax? And in social interaction, we make decisions all the time as well. And often these decisions need to be made on the fly. Where should we eat dinner? Who should I hang out with this weekend? What should I do this weekend? Am I going to that party? Am I going to that conference? Should I accept this job offer? Should I be business partners with this person? Am I going on the camping trip or am I going on the ski trip? With this group, with that group, right? So we're constantly being presented with decisions that we have to make. And what happens when there are way too many choices that we find ourselves inundated with options and choices and opportunities that we can't seem to make a decision. That's choice paralysis. So think of when you're looking at a comprehensive menu and there are at least 5 dishes that look appetizing to you and you need more time with the menu, but your friend's waiting and you want to place an order. What are you supposed to do? You have to make a decision. So, right, that's choice paralysis in a nutshell. So if you're having trouble being decisive and you want to get better at decision making and making decisions in a more prompt manner, stick around because we're going over some helpful strategies that I really think are going to help you make decisions better and on the fly. Go with your gut feeling. That's your intuition. It's the feeling that we feel like right here in the middle of our stomach. Some people have a slightly stronger intuition than others. And like anything, it's a muscle that can be strengthened or weakened depending on how often you use it, right? So the more scenarios in which you have to rely on that gut feeling, the more that you are strengthening that muscle, that intuition muscle. So for more important decisions, for example, should I take that job? Should I marry this person? Should I go overseas on that trip? Should I go to that school? Should I take that internship? That kind of thing. What you want to look for is a sensation of fullness versus emptiness. And that you're going to feel in basically your diaphragm. And this is especially true of opportunities as opposed to making like a quick decision that doesn't have much consequence for the long term, right? So if you're making a decision where it's going to impact your life quite substantially, then you really want to cue yourself into that feeling of fullness. And if it's a feeling of fullness, go with it. Take that opportunity. If it's a feeling of emptiness, then politely decline it and move on. All right. The second one is don't view being indecisive as being polite, right? Not making a decision is essentially a decision, right? You've decided to be indecisive. So if you truly feel strongly about something, you should say that. You should voice it, right? If you prefer ordering pizza, let's say, to barbecue, say so. Don't be indecisive because it really doesn't come off as polite. In fact, in social settings, indecisiveness can actually be a little bit annoying, right? Imagine you're out at a coffee shop and you're there with your friend that you haven't seen in a while, and your friend immediately places their order, and you're still vacillating between the chai tea latte and the matcha latte. And your friend has finished their cappuccino, let's say, and you're still vacillating between the two, right? Now time's up and you both have to return to work, and you didn't get a chance to catch up with your friend, which was the point of the coffee date in the first place, right? So instead, you want to employ the quickly weighing your options and just picking one. Just go with whatever, just go with one, right? With decisions like that, where it's really not about what beverage you're imbibing, right? It's really about doing a nice catch up with a friend, and coffee, warm beverage, is just an excuse to see that person and catch up. The third thing is think fast and think slow, right? So not every decision you make needs to be weighed and thoroughly investigated and have a pros and cons list. There are decisions that we make on the spot, on the fly, and there are others that we need to take a little bit more time to think about and really be deliberate about. So fast thinking decisions are like What drink order should I get? What workout should I do? What food should I get off the menu? Who should I hang out with this weekend? Right? What should I have for dinner? Slow thinking decisions are things that really impact our life more substantially. Like, what university should I go to? Who should my core friend group be? What line of work should I go in? What industry should I be in? What business partners should I have? Right? So reserve the slow thinking for the deliberating and really thinking about the bigger picture in life, bigger decisions in life. And for the fast thinking decisions, just pick an option and move on with your life, right? If you choose barbecue over pizza, it's really not the end of the world, right? If you do the HIIT workout over the strength workout that day, cool, great. Celebrate a small win. You got your workout in. Good for you, right? So the point here with these fast thinking decisions, just pick one. Don't deliberate over it. More importantly, once you make that decision, don't ruminate, right? Don't regret it and constantly be badgering yourself and regretting having made that decision. Make a mental note of it. Let's say you didn't like the pizza and you want to get the barbecue next time, vice versa, whatever it is, and go with that next time. For slow thinking, you really want to be thoughtful, okay? But you also want to avoid the regretting as well, because once the decision is made, it's made, and all we can do is learn from it, right? 4, how small a decision can you make? This is a really good one, because if you look beneath the surface of every single big decision in life, there are several smaller decisions that you could have made or that you can make to take action. So think of these as action points, right? The steps that you can take. For example, when you're faced with a huge decision of, let's say, moving to another city or country, before you decide yes or no, or maybe, break it into smaller decisions that you can make. First, you could decide to read up on the city. You could watch some YouTube videos about the city. You could read blog posts about the city, call friends, relatives, anyone who's visited or lived there. And let's say you're wondering to take the job. Make a smaller decision to talk to someone who works at that company, do your research, look at what other options there are in that field, right? So you're really looking at the smaller steps that you can break it into. And when you make these smaller decisions, you're still making a decision, but it's not this gargantuan, big deal, final decision that you have to make. Breaking it down into these bite-sized actionable chunks will make it much easier to make that big decision at the end. All right, so let's do a quick recap. Follow your intuition, and you can actually train that mind to gut connection so that you can be much better about tapping into your gut feeling when you need to. And remember that feeling of fullness versus emptiness. The fullness feeling, that's usually a good indicator of making that decision, of, going with that opportunity, right? Indecisiveness is not polite. It's actually quite annoying, particularly in social settings. And indecisiveness usually happens with the fast thinking decisions, like placing a food or beverage order or deciding what workout to do, right? So just go with whatever the choice is. Go with the cappuccino or the matcha latte. And remember that a lot of times, just think of the bigger picture, right? Is this something that you're going to regret 5 years down the road? Hopefully not. And also think about, what's the point of this coffee? Is it to catch up with friends or have the coffee? So really think about that having that perspective, and try to be as quick as you can with the fast thinking decisions, and be a little bit more deliberate with the slow thinking decisions by doing your research, weighing your options, making a pros and cons list. But ultimately, when you make that decision, don't look back, don't regret it, and don't ruminate. Okay. Then you want to break down those bigger decisions into smaller decisions, and suddenly they become much less overwhelming and less daunting. Because behind every big decision, there are several smaller decisions that we can make. Find those and take the necessary action. Do your homework, talk to key players, and get moving. These are the actionable steps that will help you decide yes or no. So implement these strategies the next time you're faced with a big decision or a small decision, And this will be something relatively easy to practice as we are making decisions every single day, multiple times a day. So experiment with the different approaches that I've outlined here today and continue to rely on the ones that work best for you. All right, that is all for me today at Explearning. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Go out there and make those decisions. I will see you in the next one. Happy Explearning, everyone.